I have a craft to waste a few hours. Hey, I'm Emma and today I'm going to share my face mask sewing tutorial. So I originally saw the pattern from Mimi G on YouTube, so I will link to the original video. And I've added my own spin on things, so the most notable thing I did was add in these cable ties, or I guess a pipe cleaner would also do, and that's just to be able to mould to the bridge of your face and keep the face mask on more securely than if it was just material. Hello? And the other thing that I thought was really good about this pattern is it doesn't steam up glass. This is probably a hair up craft, but nonetheless, let's go for it. They mess with hair. This is definitely a hair up thing. Whew. Okay, this is a hair up craft. So, hear me. Okay, so to put this face mask on, I just put the straps over. One strap needs to go low and one strap needs to go high. Then you can tease out these scrunches. Mold the metal wire around the bridge of your nose, and then glasses can go over the top. So this holds in super secure. The other good thing about this one is it doesn't steam up my glasses, so that's perfect for a colder climate where I'm going from the cold inside. Whew. And my glasses are prone to steaming up. So this is the best pattern I've come up with. If you have a sewing machine, perfect. If not, this is gonna take hours. The first one was like 3 days of a gentle, I'm enjoying doing this craft. The second one I did to order, in and out in 7 hours. It was fun, but it was impulsive. This one I did over like 2 days. Yeah, it's gonna be hours, so buckle up. So to get this pattern, I just traced it off the computer screen, turning the brightness up and putting the PDF to 100% size, and traced the pattern. So I was cutting out the outer fabric with the nice pattern on it, then to make the lining fabric, I folded the pattern over to reduce the size of it, and then cut out the lining fabric. And I cut out 2 outer fabrics and 2 lining fabrics, making sure they're in the right orientation. So I then put these pattern side to pattern side and sew along the curved edge. So when I'm hand sewing, it can be really difficult to sew in a straight line, so I like to trace my line just against the pattern is the easiest way, and a light pencil mark. With hand sewing, I like to sew all the way along and then loop it all the way back just to make a nice tight seam. And then I just iron down the seam to make everything flush. Now I place these 2 pieces pattern side to pattern side against each other, and I'm ready to sew along the nose bridge first of all. Then I made a seam along the nose bridge and a seam along the jawline. When this is all sewn, I gave it a wee iron just to smooth things out. Folded these over to iron ready for sealing these up, and that's where the elastic will be threaded through. So just turning it inside out again. This is the point where I was sewing in the nose wire. So I just did a really basic loop stitch, but there's probably neater ways to put that wire in. Then when the wire is in, I turn it back right side out and sew along this final seam to seal everything up. So here's the first mask I made, and this is the one that you've just seen how I made. So the last thing left to do is to add the elastic in, and to do this I just took some elastic. I think you could definitely also take like a strappy top, cut the straps off and then maybe sew them together if you need to increase the length, like the spaghetti strap tops would be good. Also, if there's any bra elastic that you're not using, I think that would be a good idea. But anyway, I did have some of this elastic in my sewing kit, so all I did was thread a pin through the end, and then I'm gonna go down one side, out the other side, and then the last thing to do is just sew these two ends together. My other tip is this mask can get a bit humid on the inside if your breath is circulating. So what I did when I had to go for a longer supermarket trip is I just cut off a strip from a microfiber cloth and put this inside the mask, and this seemed to help with kind of the moisture building up inside the mask, and it made it slightly more pleasant to wear for a longer period of time. But I feel like this would be sufficient for like a shop 5-minute trip. Go out wearing a face covering if you were in Scotland. It is the advice. Face masks you can hand sew at home. This is my absolute favourite design. Stay safe during lockdown. I will see you in the next video. Bye!